Well, welcome back to my boat project. The last two videos I had this thing flipped upside down and I was stripping the paint off of the outside of the hull. And I pretty much got that done and flipped it back right side up. And now I'm working on getting the interior of it stripped down. And I've already gotten all the deck and everything pulled out of it. But my biggest problem is there's closed cell foam poured in the bottom of the boat. And that's been exposed to rain for quite a number of years and it begun soaking up some water. So I was debating on whether I wanted to pull that foam out or try and dry it out, and I've gone ahead and decided I would pull the foam out rather than trying to dry it. And what I found was once I started pulling the foam out, the water saturation in the foam was not very bad. As far as the water saturation goes, I could have left it in there, but I'm glad I'm pulling it out because I found some ribs that were cracked that I never would have known about had I left the foam in. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all the foam out. We're going to weld up the cracks, seal up any leaks, and then we may put some foam back in it when we're going back together with it. But let me show you my process for getting this foam out right now and see if we can't make a little more progress on it today. So you can see I've already pulled the foam out of this section and this cross piece right here, and there's some damage to this rib. You can see it's actually cracked all the way through, so we're gonna have to repair that. And that's why I'm gonna go ahead, even though the water saturation is not bad on the foam, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it all out so that I can make sure I've got all the damage repaired before I start putting this thing back together. So what I'm doing to pull the foam out is I've just got an old head of a shovel. My flat pry bar is not here at the house, it's at the new site. So I'm just using an old shovel to drive down into the foam and pop the wedges out of it, and that gets the flashing that's on the top of this foam. You see here the foam has got a flashing coat on it, and that's pretty tough. So once I get that popped off, it exposes this softer foam under that, and then I can take the pressure washer and just knock that right out once the top coating's off. It's a little messy, but seems to work pretty good, and I think that's what I'm going to continue doing. So let's get started on that and see how much of this foam we can get out today. Alright, here's the messy part. We use the pressure washer next to try and loosen the rest of the foam now that we've got the flash coating off the top of it. So, let's get to it. Okay, so you can see I've gotten the foam out this middle section now. I've got some still up here in the bow section that I've got to get out, so that's probably another hour and a half, 2 hours worth of work, and we'll have all the foam out, and then I can put some paint stripper on it, get it cleaned up down to the bare metal, and I've got to order some brazing rods. There's several places where the ribs were cracked. The rib is cracked here all the way through. It's another spot over there broke all the way through, and then right behind that brace right there, it's broke all the way through. So I need to get those fixed up and finish getting it cleaned up, and then we can start putting her back together. So that's all I'm going to get done today. Y'all keep checking back.